What's happening, everybody? My name's P.T. Burnem, and welcome to the ZnZerna Music Hour. I'm keeping a close eye on the chat today. Gator, what's up? It's good to have you back again. I've got a really good episode in store for y'all today. I'm really excited. Sometimes whenever you're doing something like this, I think sometimes you have times when you're like, how am I going to fill that time? And then there's other times when you're like, what out of all the things that I've got going on that are exciting, which ones should I choose to show off? And that's the kind of night we got tonight. It's going to be chock full of stuff. This is the ZnZerna Music Hour. My name's P.T. Burnem, and shout outs to Cold Rhymes Records. This is twitch.tv/Cold Rhymes Records. We'll be doing this for the next 2 hours. I've got a drone running right now from Mononoke, and I've got this overhead guy showing you kind of my layout. It's a little bit simplified, no pulsar, stuff like that. And I might end this drone in a moment. But I just really love the control that this app affords. I was just in over out west hanging out with my friend Isaac, and we had a couple sessions where he was playing the guitar and singing, and I was working with the Mononoke and singing, and it was a lot of fun just kind of doing an accompaniment thing. Everything's been, up and down, and the world is so full of stress, I think, for everyone, that everybody's kind of at a baseline anyways. Sometimes I feel like I'm, riding it pretty easy, eyes forward focused. Hi, Liz. And actually, tonight I feel really, in my energy. So it feels good to be here with y'all. But, the past couple of weeks, last week we didn't do a Zerna thing. I was busy traveling, was on the plane, basically. Didn't want to spend the last moments of seeing my friend just to be wrapped up with the whole show. Just wanted to spend that with him because I don't get to see him that often. We had a wonderful time singing and making some music and walking through the redwoods. It was good. But I'm really glad to be back at my, basically at my main station. It was hard to do the Zerna Hour, harder than I thought it was going to be to do it on the go. But it was cool to do that as sort of a test run. No, I was actually out in California. Barry, do you know the drones material? Does anybody in the room? I know Liz knows the drones material. All capitals, no spaces. It's a band I did with two other fellas, Isaac and Eric Akers. And yeah, just some of my favorite work that I've ever done. So I was out in California hanging out with Isaac. And it was I had a great time. So let's see. Speaking of San Francisco, which was excellent, made some music, some of which I shared in some previous episodes like 2 weeks ago. And some of it remains being worked with. Oh, really? Oh, Barry. Let's see. I got everything so delicately set up. If you Google, it's you got to be really specific. It's crazy because it's like drones, Richmond, rap, and if you can spell this, Doravitch, Doravitch, Doravitch. In fact, if you type in Doravitch drones, you'll probably find it. It's really good stuff. It's like I call it post-apocalyptic classic folk music. The kind of stuff to be singing by the fire after some kind of wild event. It's like sort of nostalgic for the wildness of our times, a little bit future nostalgia. I don't know. Oh, I know you will, Barry. I'm really surprised actually that you haven't yet. Yeah, you really got to check that out. And you've probably got a treasure trove in front of you regarding Isaac's work as well. Okay, so also something that's really cool about what was going down in North Carolina is that my love affair with the OPZ, which is this gray slab here, was absolutely rekindled. That gray slab can really do everything that you need it to, and is one of the most comprehensive music machines I've ever used, with synths, drums, a lot of arrangement options, randomness, being able to program in randomness to get interesting grooves going, all of which I'm going to demonstrate tonight. I managed to work out a good setup for it. I think we've got a potential for a real good jam tonight. I've also got it copied over, so I'm not afraid to destroy it big time. We'll see. And tonight I'm going to be using the OPZ. I was just carrying this thing around on the train, doing all sorts of music with it, and basically any option that I wanted to execute, there was a way to execute it, or at least something enough so that later I would remember exactly what I was thinking when I programmed it in. So it's just really excellent piece of machinery. I'm going to be running, what's cool is you can program it like on the train and out, you know, when you don't have a lot of gear, and bring it back and then MIDI and use control voltage for modular synth stuff, and kind of beef it up with some really interesting layers and sounds, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that with the Strega. We're going to be running the Strega through the mimeophone, so getting echoes on echoes of the bell sounds that happen. I'll point those out when they occur, and and augmenting some of the internal synths on the OPZ with this really wonderful program, which is called Animoog. And Animoog. Yes, Animoog. And it is a wonderful synthesizer. It's digital, but, you know, the debate between digital and analog is kind of silly. What matters is, does it sound alive? Does it give you the sound you want, right? So this gives me some really good sounds that I like. I like using them as subtle layers underneath, maybe replacing some sounds later, but all that stuff is going to be employed in the Dustcat Dream Jam, which again, probably should go over this for those of you who don't know. All of this is being set up to be sampled from, reiterated, and sort of jammed on and rearranged into finally an album, which is going to probably feature rappers that we love and myself on vocals as well. And there will be a couple different versions available for people who are part of the Patreon, and that's at patreon.com/ZnZerna, just like the name of the show. So there's a bunch of good tiers and different really excellent things. For instance, audio. The audio from this evening is going to be available there, so you can listen to the jam just without me spouting off about it, you know, all this stuff. You can, of course, get the video with me spouting off if you would rather. That's going to be on YouTube, available to the whole public, but if you want to just listen to the audio, that'll be available on the Patreon. Let's see. Oh, before we get into all of my stuff, this happened, I think, earlier this week, maybe on Sunday. We had Dan Keach releasing his album, Make Your Own Light. Dan Keach is the head of Cold Rhymes Records. I don't need to tell most of y'all. He's an incredible human. I did the synthesizers on one of the tracks, and it's really just one of my favorite tracks off of the album. There's some of my work on a few of the other tracks too, I believe, but this is really one that is one of my favorites. So I am going to start this off with a little showing of Dan Keach's song Endless Evil off of his new album Make Your Own Light, which just dropped this week. If you haven't checked it out, you should probably check it out. It's captures a lot of excellent feelings here. So let's see what we got. Here we go. All right. I'm really happy to be able to share this with you. Is there no audio coming through on that? When you say no, yes, okay. I'm gonna have to save that. And yeah, I have a feeling that I've incorrectly connected something. We're gonna move past this for real quick. I'll try to work it out by the end of the show, though. So we'll get back on the webcam. Sorry about that, guys. You know, sometimes that's the way it is. You prepare for stuff, but it doesn't always work out. Hopefully, I can get it fixed by the end of the show. Okay, so that basically brings us into this Dust Cat Dream stuff. Excellent. Yeah, Make Your Own Light is an incredible album, as are, I'd say, the majority, if not all, of Dan Keach's releases. Truly a true artist. This is something that I realized this week is that, you know, if you decide to make art, yeah, I think it went out because because it was only, you were only hearing the audio sort of through the speakers, through the mic, which is not ideal. How did it sound when you were hearing it? Maybe okay? If it sounded maybe okay, maybe I could just let it run. The speakers are really good on this Mac that I'm using, and the mic is near them, but I don't know. Might not be a good look. So, I think I might get into the Dust Cat Dream stuff. This is a jam that I first started working out on the plane going over to California. Oh, it sounded good? Okay. If it sounded good, then let's roll. I will jump us back, and we're going to go with it. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to leave the mic on, so I'm not going to talk.
They say greed is good, knock it off. You must be out of your mind to want everything ever, with the thousands scrambling blind, driving down Route 40 all night. See the self-made savages squad. The people here all worship Satan. They don't worship God. Endless evil. Endless evil. My death drives on fire. I know it's not just me. Parking lot of the Catonsville Checkers. Jackie Shane on a burned CD. I feel waves full of terror, and I wanna do right, but no soul can escape the cold grip of the still moonlight. Endless evil. Endless evil. Endless evil. Endless evil.
So good. So good. Wait 1 second. It's gonna try and mess with us. We're not gonna let it mess with us. Yeah, Dorovich. Or Dorovich. Sometimes I get it mixed up because the name is Dora Dorovich, but one of them has an A and one of them has an O. I think it's Dora Dorovich. But yeah, you'll find it. The first album, which is just a self-titled joint, is I think that's available on the. I'm not sure who's offering that. I think it might be the DIY Bandits now that I think about it. But yeah, that's the one with Rickolas. That's the one. Yes, that's the one with the Bandits, which I don't think the vinyl is available anymore, but it might be available for download. And there's another one if you type in those same things and type in Trustees of Dartmouth, like this. That's the sequel. That's the one. So, yeah. I'm going to start things off by just pressing play on this OPZ. Oh, wait, no. First, actually, what I want to go into real quick is... So, I've been working on some interesting, like, sculpture pieces that incorporate modular synth, kind of trying to keep a theme while I'm going, and doing some interesting things with grafting cymbals to speakers to cymbals, so that I can use stuff like Mononoke to drive drones through that speaker and get a metallic resonance from the cymbal, and incorporating that into the sculpture. So, for you, my dear viewers, I'm going to be debuting some sort of sneak previews of these guys. I might skip through the videos a little bit. These are a little bit long form, and I'm going to be shortening them, but they didn't require much editing. That was one of the goals, was to shoot it raw in a way that felt quality. And all the audio that you hear is basically coming in through the iPhone microphone. Oh, thanks, Patty Wax. You yell in a room with a drum set and you can hear the cymbal vibrate, and it just gives what it does. Also, really, anytime you've got something like a synth that's digital on any kind of computer, I guess, coming through a speaker, if you record the signal dry during your recordings, it sounds one way. But if all you do is just put it through a speaker and mic the speaker up, and different speakers have different characteristics, and it just sounds a lot more juicy and live. It's super easy way to get like live sounding stuff. Because, people talk about, recording to tape, get it analog sound, etc., etc. Just put a little room sound with those speakers. Get your even just like the iPad speakers with a mic over it will have a better sound than the like dry digital audio. So yeah, I got that up, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys a preview. This is a debut of the sculpture. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm proud of the direction that I'm going in, and I'm hoping to develop it more. This one is called, basically, these are gonna all have a sort of Yomohe-Nizen feel, as opposed to like Dust Cat Dream, which we're gonna be working on shortly. So check this one out. So that was one of the initial ones that I made, and that long form video is going to be like shortened down. It's also been sampled from, with maybe the idea might be to feature them as like chunks of video inside of music videos and stuff like that. Actually, speaking of which, next week is going to be the collected works from the now a word sticker game that we did. So you've got pretty much like, if you've got one of the Clear TV stickers and you want to contribute some work, you've got like 3 or 5 days to do it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And yeah, I guess we're going to be displaying that while we do a little bit of music like we're about to do now. We're going to go from that drony noise and stuff to this more melody-based Dust Cat Dream stuff. We're going to be jamming on this for about an hour. Yeah. Got this little chorus I've been singing, so don't mind me if I do a little bit of that. let's start modulating this a little bit. So, what I've got going so far is mostly just running from the OPZ through a couple of modulated effects. Nothing's really talking to itself yet or to each other, and we're gonna plug in some wires and fix that. All right, I like this. Really mess with some stuff, actually. What I'm doing is I'm running a different variable, a different voltage from each of these steps that is time synced, moving along. Let's get that to be set to a knife. I'm going to turn down the mimeophone for a moment, just so I can hear this. All right. Another important thing to note is that while there is that wild signal coming out of the Strega, what's going through the mimeophone is a dry signal. So what's being echoed by the mimeophone here is a dry signal. Okay, let's try this. Cool thing about mimeophone is as you start chopping it up, ooh, fine sign wine, I like that. Chase. That is, as they say, why we keep you on retainer. Understandings like that. I hope it's pairing well with everyone's dinner, everyone's evening. I've been thinking a lot about dust. I miss you, Chase. You're one of those humans that just is nice to be in vicinity of. It's not just because you're handsome. So once you start chopping stuff up on Mimeophone, it starts reiterating inside of itself, and that causes these different patterns to happen, as long as you planned it right. Which, you be the judge. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, wow. Okay. So if you've seen previous episodes, you know that sometimes what I'll do is I'll run an arpeggiating synthesizer through a cutoff pedal and then through delay, opening it occasionally to let it flow through and then letting the delay sparkle out. It's relatively easy to do that by using mute groups and sends, audio sends from the OPZ. And then you just sort of time it right, you know, you listen and you time it. And because the OPZ has that randomization underneath there, no time that you push the unmute button is going to be the same, which is nice. Adds a little sparkling variation. Random bits sparkling through. It reminds me of something. Dust. Oh, you know what? Now might be a good time to mention. I'll just. For the first time ever in the history of the ZnZerna Music Hour, the short history of the ZnZerna Music Hour, I am offering a small package of stickers to people who aren't involved in the Patreon at all. It has a few of the figure stickers and some of the other kinds of stickers that we made, and it'll run about $13. If you're interested in getting one of these, you can let me know. Email ZnZerna@gmail.com. And let me know that you want some damn stickers. And I will send them to you. Okay, yeah, let's go back to this. So one of the cool things, well, I'll show it off in a minute. We got these guys running. Now you can really see some of the coolness of the Animoog, where basically it has each spot on that grid is a different waveform that's being used to create the synthesized sound, and you can draw a path for it to move through those waveforms. And then you can cause a rotation as it's moving through the path. Causes that, let's see if I can't really make it more. Let's see here. I don't think I can make it more. There's a little bit of nice. Some nice dust there underneath. Yeah. I like stuff that fades into static. It sounds dusty. We're going to talk some about dust later. We're going to talk a little bit about Brownian motion, which I recently found a cool way to understand it. from a book that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, I see what's happening. Best of the journey, Huego. Good stay. Best of the journey, good luck controlling yourself. Best of the journey. Best of the journey. We mix in the sauce, we put it on. Put it on the burner. I hope y'all are enjoying what I've got going here. I'm enjoying it very much, and I'm glad that you're here with me, checking it out. So you can use this a little bit to do some soloing. It's interesting. Definitely would be nice to throw a riser in there. See if we can really get it. It's got this pitch bend boy here. You are listening to the ZnZerna Music Hour. Shortly enough, we're going to be putting a pause on this, bringing it down. To share with you another cut from the MakeNoise sculptures. But that'll be in a minute. Still working with this. We got a few more tricks. Gonna let some more of that nice light in. melt it down. We should start destroying it soon. We're gonna move forward in time and we're gonna move backwards in time and do some destruction before moving on. We want to really mess it up. See that little guy there? When I push this, it goes crazy. Let's see. Ooh, I know. So now I've got an occasional hold going on. Occasional hold going on the Miniaphone. And that allows patterns to be sustained for a while. And as we know, repetition is the source of legitimacy in music and in life. I like the way the bass is getting chopped up by the tape track here on the OPZ. Adds a little random rhythm. All right, we're gonna bring it down. All right, that's good. All right, we're going out. We're going out on this recording here. Ooh, need even more light. How's it going? What's up, everybody? PT Burnem. You're listening to the ZnZerna Music Hour. And I've got some more stuff to share with you the next couple of minutes. I'm going to go back into the sculptures, the MakeNoise based sculptures. So we're going to do the second one of those. I may skip around in this video a little bit, but again, this is sort of a preview of something that which the final products will be both available to patrons in certain exclusive forms, and also happening in real time on the Instagram. That's Instagram.com/ZnZerna, or at ZnZerna. I guess that's how it's going down on Instagram, at ZnZerna. If you check out ZnZerna on Instagram, you can follow that, and there's going to be some versions of this sculpture going down. All right, so I actually think this lighting is perfect for what I'm going to do next. So this is something new. What I'm going to do is give y'all a bit of a drone from MakeNoise. Earlier in the year, I did a session where I sat down. This was before I was broadcasting the MakeNoise stuff. And I made a number of drones using some modular equipment. And I think I threw in some samples in there, yeah, with like the buffing room sounds and stuff like that from the factory. And so I'm going to share one of those now. If I can find it. Yeah, here we go. And while it runs, I think what I'm going to do is read a few things and talk about a few things from this book. It's called Reality is Not What It Seems. It's by Carlo Rovelli, and it is one of the most succinct explanations of the beginnings of quantum theory, and I know that sounds really heavy, but also Brownian motion, which is actually really simple and has something to do with dust. So I figured I would read that off for you while I do one of these drones, which, let's see here. I got it. It's right here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now, let's see. Let's see if this is working. Well, there we go. Now these are some kind of adventurous drones that were recorded. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that was the one there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about these basic physics. I'm very excited. I think we're coming back into it. These little seeds were sown at the beginning. Little bits. And then modules like clouds and mimeophone, things like that, started turning and cycling them into further strangeness. Now, something that's interesting to start off with is Brownian motion. It's easy to understand. It sounds like a crazy concept, or you associate it with like Einstein and stuff. It sounds crazy, but it's really pretty simple. If you think about the way dust moves in a sunbeam, and the reason it moves that way, and the way that it moves is erratic, yet from far away has a bit of a pattern. It moves erratically, and then it moves along to another place, and then moves erratically within a sort of given area there, and then moves again, and then moves erratically. And the reason that it does that is because at all times it is being bombarded by particles, atoms, and those are like shoving it from all sides. Now, you can imagine if these particles were extremely small, then you would have almost no motion at all, because it would be getting constant bombardment of almost equal force on all sides, and you would have basic stasis. But they're not extremely small at that scale. They're kind of big. And they push, and there's a little bit of variation, so things get shoved around randomly and then make their way into different areas. So that's what Brownian motion is. It's things being shoved around like that. And in fact, it's so reliable, this motion, even though it's apparently random, it's so reliable that Einstein was able to use the way particles move in fluid to extrapolate how big atoms were. So it's very reliable information. And I just think that it's incredible, that sort of thing. I think this book has just been firing up my brain. I wish we had a little more light. Let's see. I bet I can get a little light on this subject. Didn't anticipate things getting this dark. There's a little. There's a little. There's a little. There's some. There's some. All right, we can do that. We can work with that. In fact, there we go. There's some. So, what we've got going on, we've got some Brownian motion, and it's important to remember the dust moving in the sunlight. That motion, the motion you see there with the dust, is something that is common inside of the way physical objects move. It's indicative of the way atoms move. Another wild thing, and of course this book was written in 2017, so there's probably a lot more known now than there was then. This was just the first book recently to get me super fired up on understanding sort of, for instance, what distinguishes quantum physics from like normal physics, regular physics, which is basically simply that it can be quantified, which is that the grains of sand can be counted. Things are not infinitely small. Light comes in photons, packets of a given size. They can't get any smaller. Time probably comes in similar packets. The whole universe might be made up of things that can eventually be quantified. I'm not one for trying to just quantify the whole universe, but just that is the reason that it's called quantum physics or quantum dynamics or whatever it is. I used to think that quantum just kind of meant like futuristic, and this book really opened my eyes to some of the basics. Let's see, I bookmarked one more thing. Ooh, now we're just starting to get good in the drone. That shrieking that started happening. I liked that when it first started happening. Oh, here's one insane fact. So, within what we call time, you have the past and you have the present, and you have the future. Well, you have the past and the future, and then there's a small slice that's neither in the past nor in the future. It's the present. This small slice of time. What's interesting is that because of relativity, that slice of time is extended given enough distance. It's related to the fact that actually gravity affects the passage of time in a very small way. A watch at sea level will move, I believe, slower than a watch at up on a mountain. It's very almost imperceptible, but distance fluxes time. So the wild thing is that small instance of present on Mars, that same instant of present time, which is neither in the past nor in the future, but is happening right now, is 25 minutes long. So, it's like this. If we were communicating and you were on Mars and I was here and I call and you answer the phone, we've got really great telecommunications. You answer the phone as soon as I ring and you call me back as soon as you get the call. Message trying to transfer. It would take 25 minutes for that to happen, and there's no way around it. It's not a matter of communication speed. It's a matter literally of a bending of time by distance. Really boggles my mind. Fires me up about things. So you can hear how this drone is developing into something. This kind of pure drone patterning is going to be available to folks, but it's also going to be sampled from and used heavily on MakeNoise. In a few minutes, I think we're going to wrap it up. Oh, we got 20 minutes. So here's another interesting thing in that book, which again is reality is not what it seems, by Carlo Rovelli. And this is what's interesting. Now, if I'm wrong about this and I'm using outdated knowledge, I'm sure Carlo wouldn't want me doing that. So if you have alternate information, feel free to share it and point me in the direction of more updated materials. I've just been getting really fired up about this book, sort of beginning to understand the basics of quantum theory, which is like this picture of the atom that we have, which is like the rotating electrons around the nucleus. This is a common picture because it's easy to understand, but it doesn't really work like that at all. Apparently, that ring that you see it like rotating around, it's not really rotating around that. It's popping up along it, seemingly randomly. And so it's just like zapping out of existence, can't see it, and then it pops up somewhere random on that ring. And in fact, not just on that ring, but what it does is it disappears into a cloud of probability, potential zones where it could be. And that probability is concentrated on that ring. So it's popping up a lot on that ring. And the crazy part is the reason for this. They used to think that it was traveling along some path that was like odd and you couldn't see it, but it's traveling along some path here, we couldn't see it, and ending up at a seemingly random spot. But it turns out probably that's not what's happening. What's happening is at that small of a scale, the energy necessary to create a black hole is not that great. And so it's starting to look like reality is made of a Swiss cheese of microscopic black holes. And that, to me, is insane. Again, if this is outdated knowledge and it turns out, we're actually just still inside the dreams of the windfish, which is possible, then let me know. But I would check this book out. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. Reality is not what it seems. Carlo Rovelli. Speaking of things you ought to check out, a friend of mine named Squaloscope has recently released a record called Weight Bearer. And you have got to check out Squaloscope Weight Bearer. Yeah. Cool. I probably was looking a little crazy there. That'll make for good footage. So, we've got about 15 minutes left. That beat is going. Oh! Actually, for anybody who is watching right now, or especially if you're listening, and you're, especially PRS fam, we got some footage of the boys. So check this out. We're going to bring that down. So while I was working the sculpture, me and my guitar playing friend, who's really great at sort of jazz guitar, very knowledgeable and a wild guy, super great human also, Damien Lepore, played some guitar for me to the sculpture. I shot video of that and then I edited it down and sort of treated it like a sample-based song. And for you, viewers that are still with us, we are going to debut that here today. And so I hope that you enjoy this. This is not a pure sound from like a single instance of the sculpture. This is sampled sounds from moments of the sculpture overlaid with moments that Damien played guitar on. But I think it sounds really great. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed making it with Damien, and right now he's taking a bit of a break. I think he's restructuring how he's going to be working with music publicly, but he's got a YouTube channel, and I think he's revamping it right now, kind of, like I said, taking a break and figuring out how to move forward with it. But I'm really excited for everything that he's going to be doing, and keep that name in your mind, Damien Lepore. If you hear me talking about him again, I'll probably have another thing that you could check out from him. Let's see. What I want to do is drop another drone while we kick a little outro, do a little thank you for our wonderful patrons who keep things really so much more creative freedom. Like when there's a small budget that's regular and incoming, you can plan and be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And I've actually got some cool surprises regarding the Sticker Club in store. Next week is going to be the reveal on that. And for now, I think I'm going to run this this file marked drone experiment with rings. So I'm assuming that this was me running rings through some cloud stuff. Nice. I've always liked that tone a lot. It's deep, resonant. I remember this one. So yes, as we come to the end of the evening, I want to say thank you. Huge thank you to everybody who's watching right now. Got to see some of that sculpture thing go down. I'm going to have more of that as the weeks go by. And again, Instagram at ZnZerna is where to check that all out. Let's see. I think what we've got is the thank yous. The requisite thank you for Dan Keach. Cold Rhymes Records represent. We also got our Digicats, who can get this week's audio from the Patreon website. If you'd like to jam to some of that stuff. No talking on that. And to our Zerna Cats, who are going to be receiving the sticker packs in a couple of weeks. They're coming in. What I've ordered is coming in. I'm really excited to share it with you. We got Kenny Creech, Erica P, Ren, Ashley. If you're watching Shout outs to you and Woogie. Jen Dudley. I was just hanging with Jen Dudley. There's going to be more on that next week. Eric Akers, Trauma Laverne, absolutely the man. Quinn Cat, what's up? When you watch this, if you're watching, how's it going up north? Becca just got the notification today. Really, really appreciate it. I can't wait for y'all to get these stickers. Sam, like we were talking about earlier, got to get up, talk about how things are going in Nashville. And Robbie Stout, if you're listening, get at me. I got some things, definitely sonic things to talk to you about. Austin, I know, it's crazy. Actually, we got to get that Twitch collaboration going. So if you see this, email me about that. Viz just sent me the best gift. Aesop Rock card deck. Couldn't believe it. I was so happy to get it in the mail. Viz, Visitor 10, check out their stuff. We also got a couple of really, really helpful humans. Barry, who is always holding things down and keeping things kind of running smooth, giving his hand. And Dogfuck. I just, can't say enough, doggy. We got to get up though, because we haven't in a minute. Anyways, all friends, all patrons, thank you so much for keeping the lights on. I know it doesn't look like the lights are on, but the lights are on. Okay, so that is, I think that's going to be about our show tonight. Don't got much to say about many more things. I got a couple shows coming up. Greenville, most of y'all who are going to be doing the thing already know what's going on the 6th at State Theater. I believe that's where it's popping off. The first yearly memorial of our friend, Richard Benjamin. And that's the 6th. Okay, all right. I tried to bring up some information, but it didn't work. It's not on my paper. Next week, more information about the shows. Until then, I hope that you have an enlightening time and keep your eye out for details that may inform you of what you need to know. Keep your eye out for the light and the dust inside the light. Keep your eye on that stuff. I will see you next week. I will have some more sonic goodness to share. And I gotta say, Yamohe Nizen and good night. And thank you to everyone.